camera बरोबर.
Oh, perfect. Yes. A very warm welcome, Dr. Shaila ma'am. Thank you so much for being a part of this very big mission, which is known as Everything About Her Health. I would just like to tell everybody out there what is this Everything About Her Health quickly. So, myself and Dr. Shaila ma'am, we actually went across a forum where we decided that let's do something together to educate women, because you need a doctor to educate women right from the starting of the periods to throughout a pregnancy, lactation, her fertile age, and the menopause. And that is the reason we started with these series known as Everything About Her Health, where we talk about what is that condition, what are the different factors that cause it. No, with the help of nutrition, how can we help her? What are the lines of treatment? What are the precautions that she should take, etc. So I welcome everybody, those who are watching this, and Dr. Shaila Nimbkar ma'am for being a part of this beautiful mission. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Sharayu, for
My
inviting me for this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. So quickly, I'll introduce myself and Dr. Shaila ma'am today. All those who do not know me, myself, I'm Dr. Sharayu Rajwade. I'm consulting homeopath, wellness and cosmetology consultant. I'm also India's first homeopathy clinic coach. And I would like to welcome upon this stage right now, Dr. Shaila Nimbkar ma'am. Dr. Shaila Nimbkar ma'am is MD pathologist and certified nutritionist from Ireland. She has an experience of 43 years in the field of pathology. She is MBBS, DPB, MD, and she was also working as a professor in KEM Hospital, where she taught so many amazing doctors, those are out there now serving the people. So first of all, with that kind of experience, with that kind of wisdom, knowledge, and a teacher here on this platform with us, I'm sure all our doubts are going to be cleared. We are going to understand the topic really well. And she, being from the pathology field, she will talk about the investigations, the importance of it, because many times laymen are scared of investigations, they tend to ignore it, and that results in a lot of sufferings invariably. So we have come together to educate all of you to help you achieve a very good health. So let us begin with today's webinar. I will just talk about the bifurcation of the webinar. Initially, I will be talking about what are periods, what is menarche, what are the different factors which causes the onset of puberty early or late. Then gradually we will go about, what are the challenges when it is early or late. And then ma'am will talk about very important investigations that every girl who is from the age of around 9 or 10 to 18 to 19 has to do when she is in her puberty to adolescent journey. So let us begin with today's webinar. Yeah.
Sharayu, I would like to add that first half we will be talking about what you said just now.
Right.
And half talking about the nutrition during this period, puberty period, and your psychological and medical help, which you would like to give for the teenagers. So that will complete our 1 hour talk. So first half will be about up to investigation. Second half will be from nutrition and medical treatment. Yeah. So, yes. So you can continue with your information about puberty, onset of puberty. Yeah.
I would just like to share a photograph of female reproductive system here with us. So we are actually going to cover this topic in 2 parts, like ma'am said, because the topic is very elaborative. In the first half, like she said, we're talking more about what is menarche, what is puberty, and what are the different causes and factors that affect it. And secondly, about importance of investigations in that age. And in the next half, we will be talking about the importance of nutrition and very importantly, the mindset, the challenges on a mental plane, and the line of treatment that we require. Yeah, so I'm sharing the screen now. Just let me know if you can see the image of female reproductive system. Yeah. I hope you can see this image.
Yes,
So
yes,
let
you can
us
see
talk
that.
about what is menarche. Now, menarche is when any girl gets her periods for the first time, the onset of her menstrual cycle. Okay, now this development takes place in three phases. First phase of puberty is known as thelarche. Thelarche is development of breast tissues or the breast budding. Next is adrenarche, when the adrenal glands become active, and that causes hair growth in the pubic region. After 2 years or after the onset of therapy comes menarche. मतलब ये दो stages के बाद the third stage is when her periods start. Now what exactly happens when the periods start? This is the female reproductive cycle. It is located in the pelvis, that is the lower abdomen part of your body. Now these are two ovaries. Every month in one, like sometimes in the right, in one cycle in the right, in the other cycle in the left, a small egg is formed which travels from this tube into the uterus. And whenever we get periods or whenever there is bleeding, that egg is thrown out of the body. Okay, this keeps on happening once in the left and once in the right. So that exactly happens when you reach puberty. That is, this reproductive system starts becoming active. It becomes more fertile, where initially जो कुछ cycles होते हैं, they're anovulatory, means there is no egg production, just there is bleeding or the uterus line is getting shedded. But gradually, as 2 or 3 years pass or a few months pass after her periods have started, slowly the cycles become regular, and alternately left and right ovary starts becoming more functional, where the egg is produced, travels completely from the fallopian tube into the uterus, and then whenever there is bleeding, that egg goes out, with the blood. That is how the cycle keeps on repeating. So I have in a very simplified language, I have tried to explain what happens whenever you get periods. All right. Now, the periods either can be late or early or perfectly on time. Now, what is usually the time when a girl can get her periods? It is usually from 9 years. Now, it is like quite early, from 9 years to 14 years of age. The girl is most likely to get her periods. All right. Now, the periods can either be early or late. Now, what are the different factors which determine that can you get your periods early or can you get it late? So, number one is socio-economic factor. Okay, so if your food habits are not right, if they're very poor, the nutrition is bad, the environment that you're living in, all of that is going to cause some or the other effect on your reproductive system. It is said that girls, those who are living in the urban areas, are getting their menses early, their menarche early, whereas those who are living in the rural areas are getting their menses late. Next is genetics. So if your mother, your grandmother have got their menses early or late, that also can define if you are going to get your cycle early or late. All right. Number three, your own health. If the girl is frequently falling sick, if her general health is not well, she might not get her periods early. Whereas if she is healthy, she's not falling sick very frequently, she might get her periods on time. Very important factor which we're going to talk about in detail is nutrition. Okay, if a girl is undernutrition, that is, she is not eating correctly, her calories are too deficient for her body to function. If there is any deficiency, if there is iron deficiency, if she's anemic and all the other deficiencies, that will definitely make her periods get more and more delayed. Number four, exercise also determines whether you will get your periods early or late. So all those who are gymnasts, those who are heavily, into athletic kind of workouts, are playing, all those all those girls tend to get their periods late. Whereas if it is more sedentary kind of a lifestyle where she's overeating and not working out that much, she might get her periods early. Next is the family size. If the mother has a lot of children where equal attention is not getting paid to everybody, that also affects her growth, her mental status, and as you know, hormones, stress, everything is very much correlated to each other. So the family also matters. So whenever your child is getting slowly into the growing age group, you have to know that what are the factors that are going to affect her growth, and you have to make sure to provide the best to your daughter. All right. Now let us understand when can a girl get her periods early. We'll go one by one. early or precocious puberty, or late or primary menopause. Let us talk about it slowly. So first, let's talk about early. Now, early can be as early as 8 years or 9 years where girls are getting their periods. Yes, girls are getting their periods in 4th standard as well. Previously, it used to be more towards 7th standard, 8th standard. But now in the last few years, because of so many other factors, so many other things that probably are influencing them, they are getting their periods early. So like I said, first is environmental factor. The environment around them, what kind of topics do they talk? What are they watching on TV, on social media? What do the parents talk? What do their friends talk? All this is going to cause some impact. Okay. Next, the socio-economic, like I said, those who are living well, eating a lot, there is overnutrition. Those girls tend to get their periods early. Next, higher animal protein. So those who are eating a lot of chicken, meat, red meat, organ meat, all these girls, studies have shown that they tend to get their menses or menarche early. Next, like I said, overweight girls, those who have BMI more than 25. So between 25 to 30 is overweight and 30 plus is obese. So all those girls, those who have their BMI more than 25, tend to get their menses early. Next, it is also said that those girls, okay, those who get their periods very early, please make sure you are monitoring their health because they tend to get hypercholesterol. Okay, I'm talking not in a medical language. Their cholesterol tends to be high. Let me explain it that way. Gradually in their adulthood. So if they're getting periods really early, make sure that you're watching their diet as well. Next, there are chances that they may get breast cancer. So you have to make sure that if she has got a precocious puberty, which is like too early puberty, you have to make sure you monitor her, you do her frequent examination, you palpate her breasts and see if she's complaining anytime. And number three, it is said that those who get their periods early, they have a higher bone density compared to those who get their periods late. So these are the factors and that cause periods early and the effects के अगर periods early है तो what are the different changes in the body. Now let's quickly talk about why the periods get delayed or late. So number one is starvation or malabsorption. So all those girls, like ma'am had said last time, during the puberty age group, you want to do some hack diets and you want to look all good and all of that, but your health is most important, which girls don't understand at that age. So because of that, whenever they starve, they are not eating right, they are being underweight. If their body fat percent is less than 17, if their BMI is lower than 18, she is going to be underweight, and that is the time when the periods are going to be late. That means even by the age of 14, 15, she is not getting her periods, which is known as primary amenorrhea. Next, like I said, low BMI, low fat percent. Next, intense exercise. All those athletes, those who are into gymnastics, heavy physical workout, exercise, all these factors can actually drain out her energy. Although she's eating also very less and working out more, that is going to cause hormonal imbalance. And again, her periods are going to be late. And next, like I said, the genetic factors where because she's eating, because of her family history, where her parents, her mother, her grandmother got their periods late, even she might get the periods late. Now, there is just one effect. All those girls, those who have got their periods late, tend to have lower bone density. Okay, so if your girl has got her periods late, please make sure that she's having good amount of calcium and vitamin D, at least in her diet. All right. So this was a quick, we ran through what is menarche, what are periods, what is early, why do we get period early, why is it late, what is the female reproductive cycle, and what exactly is the cycle. Yeah, thank you so much. Now I'll quickly hand over to Dr. Shaila Nimbkar, ma'am, so she can guide us more better about the investigation. Thank you so much, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you, Sharayu. So now we would see the investigations, what are required in the puberty age group, and that will divide into two groups, mainly two groups. First group is normal menarche. Normal menstrual cycle started in a proper age group, age at a age, proper age. The girl is having normal physique. She is not undernourished, she is not obese. And then what investigations will be required? So naturally, in such cases, parents will feel that what is the need of getting investigation done? The the girl got periods at the age of 12, that is normal age. She is looking fine. She is growing well. So what is the need to do any investigations? So I would tell all the parents that I will give you live examples from which you will understand that why it is necessary to get the investigations, minimum investigations, at least once in a year. I'm not going to tell you that every 3 months, 6 months you should do your blood test or something, but once in the year, before her birthday, just 4 days before her birthday, get only 3 investigations done for each of the puberty child. And those investigations are hemogram or CBC, it is called as complete blood count or hemogram. Second investigation is TSH, and third is urine routine. These are the screening investigations which are required for each and every girl. Now, what is the example would like to give you for hemogram? One girl, Arya, had come to me at the age of 13, and her mother told me that she had acquired a gold medal in gymnastics in last 2 years. She wanted to have a hat trick and have this year also the gold medal to be achieved by her. That was her wish. But she was not able to go even for practice sessions. And she was extremely fatigued and very low in her energy. So I asked her mother that was there any problem in the last year? Was she sick or she was having some high fever or hospitalized or something like that? She said absolutely no. There was no reason, no illness, nothing. She's as fine as she was in the last year. Then I said, then what happened? Why has she become so weak and so fatigued she's feeling? Then I asked her that did she start getting her menses in this period's time, 1 year's time? She said yes. About 10 months back, she started her periods. Then how much is the bleeding? Nobody knows. So girl is passing lot of blood in the menstrual cycle, and 1 gram of hemoglobin, if it goes down, the sports personnel find the difference very heavy. You may not notice that in the normal studies because the child may not remember that well, but that is not understood that way properly. But if a sports person loses 1 gram of hemoglobin, then automatically the performance goes very much below the her average skills. So we checked her hemoglobin, CBC, urine routine, and TSH. Her hemoglobin, which must have been in the last year's this thing program, 12 or 13 or 14 grams, had come to 7.8 grams. So low the hemoglobin had become. So I asked her parents that, do you know how many pads she was changing or what was her bleeding history? So mother said that she was getting heavy bleeding, but we did not understand that that would cause such a big problem for her career, sports career. So then I told her mother that if you would have done her test just in the month of birthday, and you would have understood that what is the problem is only low hemoglobin, we could have easily corrected that part and she would have achieved her hat trick. So I would like to tell all the parents that because the girl starts getting bleeding, what was the diet before getting menarche, before starting menstrual, is not sufficiently keeping her hemoglobin after she starts getting bleeding. And that is almost like all the girls in that age group usually have low hemoglobin. So if you want to have perfect performance of your child in studies, in memory, in sports, then mother parents should take care that her hemoglobin has a normal value, and if it is low, then how it should be increased with nutrition, we'll see in the next part. So that is example of hemoglobin. Now urine routine I want to give example. most of these girls, if they are not growing well, they have urinary infection, history of urinary infection. And that is a mild infection history. The people do not get, girls do not get fever, they do not get frequency of maturation. But if we check their urine, it has definitely got more than a normal pus cells in the urine. Now we had conducted thousands of girls in that age. We had conducted a study and done the colony count of urine and the antibiotic test later on. So we had found out that about 10 to 15% of girls had overt urinary infection which they were not knowing about it. And if that is not treated in time, the growth gets affected. So that is one example of urine routine, why we should do it. Second example is that one girl who was very weak and very thin had come to me for nutrition guidance. And as usual, we always check the parameters first and then give the guidance. So when I checked, the urine had 4 plus urine sugar. And I thought that the bottle was at, she has taken a syrup bottle or not washed properly. So probably because of that, the urine sugar must have come positive. So we gave the bottle from the clinic, she collected the urine and we checked and it was again showing 4 plus urine sugar. So then I understood that this is a case of juvenile diabetes. It is a very rare thing. We do not know that if 100 girls come, maybe about 1 or 2 girls may have that type of diabetes, juvenile diabetes. So, but this case was such that I could detect her diabetes. I had sent her to the endocrinologist. Then the total profile was checked for her, and she was labeled as a juvenile diabetic case. She was given 3 times injections of insulin. Those people have to take injection 3 times, and then everything gets corrected. But they have to take lifelong those injections. And after about 15, 16 years, again I met that girl, and she thanked me a lot. So I said that, what is the reason you are thanking me so much? She said, you have saved my life. I said, how come? So she said that just because of that common routine examination of urine, you could detect my diabetes. And that time it was a shock to her. But then she accepted it, whatever God has given, you have to go with it. So she has maintained her life with 3 times taking injection, insulin injection, and she has become a sports person. She has topped in the all the sports, whatever their school and college had, and she is having a normal life with injection 3 times. And she told me that that was possible only because I detected her case, and her no organ is showing any damage because she is maintaining with insulin injections. So that is the case of insulin. Now I would say about TSE. Many times girls are obese in that age, like 13, 14 age group. Not exactly at the starting of menses. They have got their proper menarche, but then when they are growing in height and they, instead of growing in height, they start growing wide and they become obese. So they become very like they want zero figure and start dieting very abnormally and exercising to beyond their capacity. Actually, what has happened that their TSH level is not normal. Why they have become obese? Because their hypothyroid activity is not detected by anybody, and then they keep on doing all wrong dieting and nothing helps them. So if you do only TSH value, and if it is normal, well and good. But if it is abnormal, if it is high TSH value, which indicates hypothyroidism, automatically the girl will not grow well if her thyroid function is not corrected. Then we have to specifically do all the tests which are required for thyroid detection, thyroid disease detection. And we have detected such cases where thyroid was corrected, thyroid function was corrected, and the girl became very fine. So that was another example of why these minimum tests are required. Another example is that about say 9 years old girl had come to me. She was like a ball, so fat she had become. And her mother told me that just in 1 year's time she has become so obese. So I asked her mother that what was the reason? Have you done anything different than what she was 1 year back? So mother said that we started giving her some jadi butti wala medicine, which they got from Gujarat. Nobody knew the Vaidu's name. They did not know what medicine was given to the girl, but then they kept on giving. I said, what was the reason to give that medicine? So she said that all other girls were growing tall and they were growing very well in their physique, and this girl was not growing at all. So they thought of giving some medicine, and then they expected the growth to happen. But that is a very wrong thing, because we checked the medicine and it was adulterated with heavy metals and with steroid. And that they had given to that small girl for her growth. And the kidneys were totally affected. We checked her creatinine, it was more than 8. And that girl required either dialysis or kidney transplant. Because once the kidney health is affected, kidneys damaged, nothing can be done. So we had to tell the parents that you have to give them good nutrition, good exercise. Then they have to sleep well. They have to grow according to their genetic disposition. You cannot increase anybody's height just by giving some wrong medicines. So all the parents should remember that just do 3 tests before the birthday of your child, female child. Correct all the things, whatever were wrong in the investigations, and always give good nutrition to the child, female child, because in this growing age, that is the investment for her whole life. When you give attention to her growth, when you give attention to her all the parameters which I have told you just now, naturally she is going to grow well, and that proper growth is going to give her good health for the whole life. So I would tell all the parents that whoever is normal looking child or a normally achieved menses, only these 3 tests. But if you have a delayed puberty, 14 years, for 15 years age has passed and girl has not started menstruation yet, then there are different types of hormone tests. And in that case, you need to do estrogen, progesterone, prolactin, FSH, LH, and many other things. And that endocrinologist only can handle the case. No usual doctor will take the case for delayed menses. A battery of tests will be required. Then sometimes the total health body profile also will be required. Her lipid profile, her kidney functions, liver functions, everything may be required. And additionally, the hormones will be required. So those are the rare cases of delayed menses. And normal menses and precocious puberty, all those girls should get their 3 screening tests done. So that is from my side. Sharayu, over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was so informative. I will just quickly highlight the 3 important tests that you have to make sure you do it for your daughter 4 days before her birthday, because her health is the biggest gift that you can give her. So number 1 is doing CBC or hemogram. Please check the hemoglobin level in that. Number 2 is urine protein. You can actually find out if she's having any kind of infection in the urine. Also, presence of sugar or anything else will actually help you identify any pathology inside. And number 3, again, very important, is TSH. If she is overweight, obese, she is growing unhealthily, you have to make sure you're doing also TSH with I'll call this as a birthday present for the daughter.
Yes.
So make sure you do all these 3 things. Yeah. Now
I would say health present, if the parents give her, that is the biggest present for her. For the whole life, she would cherish that.
Very true, very true. Yes. Yes, there are some questions that parents have asked about it. First question is, parents are usually scared to actually investigate for the daughter. They feel that, एवढ्या लहान वयात कसं टोचायचं. So can you just help them prepare their mindset for an investigation?
Sharayu, what we are giving this information in the webinar, I think parents should attend such webinars and get themselves, introduced to certain things which are not at all difficult. Just giving, say, 2 cc of blood is not going to produce any harm to their daughter, but they are overprotective sometimes.
Right.
Or they are sometimes scared that if nothing is there, doctors may put us in some racket, and then unnecessarily we will be taxed with many other investigations. So that is not the thing. Doctors are there to help you. They are like your friends. So have trust in them and give the chance to get proper help by doing some common investigations. And as we said, the delayed periods, you may have to go for sonography and many other things. But those are actually required by the consultant who is going to treat the case. But normal child will just have these three things done, and there is a parent should have the confidence that what we are doing is for the health of the child, and it is nothing like a pathological condition that if you get fever then only will go for test, nothing like that. Normal person should get the investigations done once in the year. And how to remember when to do the investigations? Just before you celebrate your birthday, you should have your findings in hand, health findings.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. The next question is how to choose the pathologist. Should we have one same pathologist for the entire family every year? Because people tend to compare reports as well. You know, they do it from here and then there. So how to go about this, right?
What I said that some tests are required for the teenager girl. Then we go for 20 to say later on 40 age group, childbearing group, and multitasking the lady is doing. That time which tests are required. Then 40 to 60, which tests will be required. And postmenopausal, which some certain tests will be required. And overall, an adult should undergo some comprehensive health checkup tests during their month of birthday. And the child should undergo just this screening test. But each and every person should do the minimum test once a year.
Yeah, yeah. Could you please tell the certifications that a lab requires, because parents don't understand which lab to go to for doing all these tests, because there are so many labs in the vicinity group.
Usually what we say that whichever labs are certified labs, they are either CAP certified or this thing, NABL certified lab. So it is always better to go for the certified lab test. And certain labs have the facility of home collection, home visit. So that you should opt for. Because the child is not scared then. The child is not taken to the laboratory and blood is collected. Somebody comes home for a visit, and just within 5 minutes the collection is done and the person goes up. So nobody gets scared of that. So that facility is always available.
Right, right. And one more message to everybody: once you do the reports, please make sure you show it to a doctor, because many a times if they find something abnormal, they don't go to a doctor. They try and sort it on their own level or try to self-medicate. Please don't do that. In India, we have a lot of freedom where we can actually go and do self-tests. Outside, you need a prescription for everything. So please go to a doctor if you have that kind of freedom. Freedom comes with a lot of responsibilities. So make sure you visit a doctor whenever the tests are done, so that you're advised probably about the do's and don'ts. Yeah. So I think that's about the questions. Again, I'll repeat the 3 tests. What are those? Hemogram, CBC, very important. Number 2, urine routine. Number 3, TSH. Please make sure you do it for your daughter 4 days before her birthday, and repeat it on every birthday from the age of 9 to 19. And after that, we'll be talking about all the age groups gradually. So you will know what are your birthday tests that you have to do. Yeah.
Okay.
So slowly we have
are we closing this meeting and
Yes,
then
yes. Yeah,
reopening for the
yes.
next session?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So
So that
thank
is
you,
about
everybody.
it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
So we
everyone. And
leave the group now.
all those who don't know, Dr. Shaila ma'am is also known for doing blood tests of Amitabh Bachchan and the family. So this is just a small input to all of you. Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll meet again in
Yeah.
the next video. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah. So I'll leave the group, I'll leave
Yes,
the
yes.
meeting.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.